Why, hello, you beautiful being of light. Do you struggle to sometimes explain to people why they should spend money on your offers? I got you. Okay, so this is something that most of my clients struggle with, even the ones who have been in business for a while and have been selling and making money. People just struggle to articulate the value of what they do. And I don't mean that they don't talk enough about how great their work is. I mean, sometimes they're just not sure, why should a customer or potential buyer buy from me? Why now? Why should they spend all this money? Sure, it's valuable, but I just don't know how to articulate that to them when so many other people are saying the same thing. So many other people are promising the same thing, basically. Okay, I keep coming back to this idea. Trigger emotion, trigger event. Now, I did not invent these terms, but in a nutshell, and I'm going to try to make this video less than 5 minutes, in a nutshell, we all know people buy for emotion, etc., etc. Of course, there's logical reason, but most of the time, there's an emotion that wants to be resolved. There's an emotional transformation. So what is the catalyst? What is the emotion that makes a person want to take action? It's essentially whatever it is that your business, your brand promises to resolve on an emotional level. The exact opposite of that is the reason why a person would want to make a purchase. What happens, and I'm going to give you some examples. What happens is that most of us focus so much on how amazing it is to achieve X, especially people who are more enlightened, more conscious, more aware. They don't want to use pains against people. They don't want to use fear-based. They don't want to use pain-based. I get that. And we're not trying to make people feel afraid and like this sense of doom that if you don't take action, your life is over. We're not trying to do that. Nor are we trying to manipulate their emotion. But the reality about human beings is that we only take action when we feel like there's a reason to take action, and that is usually trying to avoid a certain pain. Otherwise, the whole decision, making decisions, is painful. Paying money is painful. Like, it's easier to default to, I'll do it later. Okay, yeah, that sounds great, but I'll think about it. It's so much easier to default to that. But the only time we actually stop and go, okay, I should probably study this, ask questions, make the payments, engage in it, invest my time, energy, money, etc., is if we have something that is bothering us and we want to resolve it. Even if that pain is the pain of not having the thing that we desire. So we want to lean on what is the emotion that we want to resolve or that the customer wants to resolve. And then what are some events that might trigger that? So I'll give you an example. For example, Brands Are Alive. What do we do at Brands Are Alive? We help conscious people, conscious entrepreneurs and creators build brands of full self-expression. Build a business that make you feel alive. Okay, that sounds awesome, but most people are probably not going to wake up one day and go, you know what I need? I need a brand of full self-expression and a business that makes me feel alive. Let me reach out to Aliana and see if I can work with her, spend months, working together, and it's intense stuff, and there's inner work and digging and marketing and branding and content creation. I have to put myself out there and stuff like that. But what does happen is that a person recognizes as a service provider that they're playing really small, that they don't want to work with a certain type of client. There's another kind of client they want to work with, or maybe they want to transition from service provider to creator. They want to create like a digital product. They want to free themselves. They want to do more of the creative, fun stuff. They don't want to play by the rules of everybody else in their industry. They want to allow themselves to explore marketing that is fun and unique and different. They want to do things their way. They don't want to have to play by all the rules that most marketing experts give them and entrepreneurs give them to build a business. So they try to play by those rules, they try to do those things, and they feel suppressed, they feel out of alignment, they feel icky, they feel like they're holding themselves back, they're too afraid to be on camera, all the things. And at that point, that emotion of suppression, of shrinking, whatever is the opposite of expansion, contraction, right? That's the word. That emotion of contraction is what makes you go, fuck this, I need to be fully and freely self-expressed, unapologetically myself. I had to pause it there to clear my throat. But anyway, you get the idea. And this is the trigger emotion. Now, what is a trigger event? A trigger event can be as simple as you're writing content and crickets, or even if it's working, it's not fun, and you feel like you've created another job in your business and you're trapped in your own business, or you're trapped in a job that you don't like and you need to be fully self-expressed and yada yada yada. So there are so many events that can happen on a day-to-day basis, and we're past the 5 minutes. Fuck it, I'll never make it with this shit. But there are so many events that can happen on a day-to-day basis that'll make a person go, look at that, like I need to look into this. Maybe it could be doing marketing that is not fun and realizing that it doesn't feel right because it's not who you are, and you feel like an imposter, and so you start comparing with other people, and you're constantly revamping your branding, because you can't settle on one thing. You don't know who you are. You're constantly flip-flopping with your niche. You're flip-flopping with your messaging. You're just lost, and you're comparing to other people, and you're holding yourself back, and you're not showing up fully, and you're not working with the right people, and you're not working on the right things, and you're not having fun with your content. There's so many trigger events that can happen to a real person on an average day that can make them go, oh, I have a problem. I need to fix this. I need to do something about this. And each one of these is going to activate one version or another of the trigger emotion that we talked about, which again is the exact opposite of the emotional transformation that your business, that your brand brings to your ideal customer, your ideal buyer. Okay, almost 5 minutes, went over by a minute, but I think it was an important distinction to make with some examples, because sometimes we need those examples. By the way, and I keep telling my clients this these days, and I keep reminding myself, and I'm gonna say it to you too, make sure to use examples. When you're talking about these, for example, when you're talking about your trigger events, make sure to use examples like the ones that I just mentioned. So a person reading it who is not aware of the problem that they have looks at it and goes, yes, that's me. Okay, that's another tip, maybe for another day, but I hope this was helpful. Question, comments, as usual, you know what to do. Post them wherever you're seeing this, and I'll see you tomorrow.